Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines.
A lot of the tribes, when you ask the elders who built the mountains, typically the answer that you're going to hear is, we didn't build them. They were here when we already got here.
OCO, my people. In this episode, we are just about to wrap up this whole entire miniseries. In case you're wondering where those sisters were from, they are from the state of California. In this episode, I'm going to educate our youth about a plague that has been rampant through our family bloodlines for generations and upon generations. Insurrections. And I'll also be showing you an interview that I conducted with a man that's a relative that lived in Black Wall Street. Enjoy. All right, welcome to the Kids official channel. The Kids, the Aborigine, the Future channel. Depending on which channel you're viewing. With me, I got Alphonso Henry, and he is one of those Aboriginal, Indians that are activists. And today he's going to be talking about, the Creedman lawsuit that took place a couple years back, and so much more. You do not want to miss this. Would you like to introduce yourself? Explain to the audience a little bit more what you do and why, it's important for us to be more vocal about where we come from.
Oh yeah. I want to. My family. I love y'all. And I do this for my people. First of all, for most of y'all don't know who I am. My name is Alphonso Henry, Alphonso D. Henry. And I come from Black Wall Street. My descendants is of Black Wall Street, and people don't understand the whole point about Black Wall Street is that Black Wall Street stretched all across the 918. And what I mean by that, Tulsa, Muskogee, my hometown. You got Wagner, Okmulgee, Tallahassee, one of the oldest Black towns in, in Oklahoma history. You got Redbird, you know what I'm saying? And all that, and most of that is Cherokee territory. So, or you got Cherokee and Creek territory. So mostly when I speak on that and I tell people about Black Wall Street, it was our descendants that built that. You know what I'm saying? Our descendants, Cherokee freedmen, Creek freedmen's, built Black Wall Street. Those were your millionaires. And they were successful. So, most people, I'm gonna let you know about the freedmen and the term freedmen, because some people try to make it degrading, and it really wasn't that. So,
okay. So earlier this year, you made a post about your family bloodline, how we are in fact the Indian. Can you explain that to the audience? Because a lot of times we hear stuff that's completely opposite. Growing up in school and even Afrocentrist.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you something about that. We always taught that. No matter if you was Black, white, Chinese. Man, look, that's only taught in America.
Yeah.
That's not world history. That's American history. Because you can ask Africans, man, you ask Africans from Nigeria, Uganda about talking about. Not saying that slavery didn't exist.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't on a mass scale like they was trying to say.
Yeah.
You know, and it was told in reverse. So you gotta understand. Yeah. Yeah. They took us out of here and shipped us out through there. That's why it always goes back to West Africa. But it's more, you know, to get into
Europe
that
as well.
Yeah, and we are the original. We are the original Aboriginal American Indian, the Niji. You know what I'm saying? And there's two types. See, they don't tell you this. There's a Native American 1, and there's a Native American 2, which is the American Indian. Most of the American Indian. You know what I'm saying? It's so many. Yamasi, some say Yamasi, whatever, Black Seminole. I mean, we can get all into that. But a lot of people don't understand, you know, that we were here. Now, when you say Native American, and I'll tell you the difference, and you know, that we were here. Now, when you say Native American, and I'll tell you the difference between a Native American 1, those are the descendants of the Europeans that came.
They mixed in with the Siberians and they took over, you know, tribes.
Yeah, yeah, because it said the definition. You heard the definition of that. You know what I'm saying? The Native American, when you looked it up, it said pre-colonial times. That is, and people don't. Yeah, people don't get it. They be like, "Man, what are you talking about?" But see, I got some information. Like I told you, I'm gonna disclose. And everything that I tell you is facts. You can, most of you cats, and like I say, is I don't like to use Google as a source, but that's what most people do today is Google. So you can type this in your little Google board, and then you can find this. You can contact the Smithsonian, and you can find this. You can go to your local or your federal U.S. library, and you can find this. You know. So that's what I try to tell people. And I got factual information. There are 2 types of Indians that's recognized by the federal government. There are 2 types of Indians. Like I tell you, your Native American 1, your Native American 2, which is American Indian. You know, so yeah, and I'll break that down to you.
So Howard did, you know, today, like you said, you have these European $5 Indian type of folks, even Siberians. How did they take our place?
Man, I have some ancestors tell me this, man. And shouts out to Leetta Osborne. I'm gonna tell you, they said we was battling, we was going through war, we was fighting many wars. Because I know you heard about the wars against that whole area from Florida all the way to Texas, all across that lower bottoms. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, the Spanish. Then you had, like, let's say the Cherokees fighting with the British, or they on the sides with the British. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Mongoloid, yeah, coming from the Bering Strait, we was fighting them. But at the same time, we sent some of our troops from Florida and other areas to California.
Definition of American.
Yeah, pre-colonial times.
Webster.
Yeah. And now it replies to the descendants of the Native American. I mean, the descendants of the Europeans. That's what that is. And people don't get it. They be like, man, what are you talking about? But see, I got some information, like I told you. Now I'm gonna disclose. And everything that I tell you is facts. You can, most of you cats, and like I say, I don't like to use Google as a source, but that's what most people do today is Google. So you can type this in your little Google board, and then you can find this. You can contact the Smithsonian, and you can find this. You can go to your local or your federal U.S. library, and you can find this. So that's what I try to tell people. And I got factual information. There are two types of Indians that's recognized by the federal government. There are two types of Indians. Like I tell you, your Native American 1, your Native American 2, which is American Indian. So and I'll break that down to you.
So Howard did, today, like you said, you have these European $5 Indian type of folks, even Siberians. How did they take our place?
I have some ancestors tell me this, man. And shouts out to Leetta Osborne. That's my tribal moms. And Wathelo Wesley, another elder. I'm gonna tell you, they said we was battling, we was going through war, we was fighting many wars. Because I know you heard about the wars against because the Seminoles was with the Spanish, and that was considered, Spain. That whole area from Florida all the way to Texas, all across that lower bottoms. You know what I'm saying? So you had them fighting, and then you had them fighting with the like I say, the Spanish. Then you had, like, let's say the Cherokees fighting with the British, or they on the sides with the British. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like that's how we got divided, and the tribes start warring with each other. So it was really based on at first we was trying to keep the Bering Strait, the Indian, what you call the Native American, the Siberian, the Mongoloid.
Yes.
Yeah, coming from the Bering Strait. We was fighting them. But at the same time, we sent some of our troops from Florida and other areas to California. And they was trying to keep out the Mexicans tribes, the lower bottom. Yeah, the lower bottom, which is more of your Aztec. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we was fighting many wars. We had attacks coming from the Bering Strait, the Siberians. Then we had attacks coming from the bottom, which the Siberian was mixing in, which created your Mexican, your Aztec. That's why Mayans, which is us.
Yeah.
And old school told me this. He's like, why you think they say Mayete?
Right, that's a derogatory word towards us.
Mayete. Yeah. So now I know what you mean by Mayete. So yeah, Mayete. Okay, but that's what it was, man. And we've been fighting wars for long. That's why you heard of the Yamasee Indian War, the Black Seminole Indian War. I'm gonna keep it real. The Seminoles was the last to give up. Matter of fact, my papa was a Delaware Indian. That's the oldest grandfather tribe. People don't know that. They warred and fought and almost was killed out from the Eastern Board coming on down.
By the eastern
like Ohio, Delaware, the Eastern Board shore. You know what I'm saying?
You must be talking about they were fighting the U.S. government from up there, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, man, they was fighting foreigners. No, they was fighting foreigners.
Foreigners, French,
when
whatever.
When they start invading us. You know what I'm saying? Like the British.
Yeah.
Like the French. Yeah. That's why we start. And honestly, tell you the truth, they really wasn't winning. Nah, because we was the ones that had guerrilla warfare. We started guerrilla warfare. Yeah, they took our tactics.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's deep, bro. It's deep. So yeah.
Could you explain to the audience how you involved with the Freedman lawsuit that went down a couple years back? The Creek
Oh yeah.
lawsuit.
I'm fairly new to it. Freeman organization in 2017. My elders, Marilyn Van, much praise to her, respect to her. You know, like I said, my tribal mom, she's Seminole Freedman. Leetta Osborne, much love. Rest in peace, Roslyn, Miss Roslyn, Brown of the Cherokee Nation. She did a lot of work. And man, it's just like, it was amazing, bro, because to come from being shunned, treated like you the secondhand dirt, and that's what kind of gets to me, is because these people have fought, and I'm talking about decades. It's crazy, man, and still be disrespected, still called out their name. They're not coming with negativity. We just want what's ours. And they're not telling the truth that this is about the blood in the land. You feel me? And if you don't know about the blood in the land, the old ones will tell you about it. This is about greed and racism. That's what this is about. This ain't about nothing else. Greed and racism. Because if you run back the whole thing about the Cherokee, the Chickasaw, the Choctaw, the Creek, we all was fighting the same struggle. We all the same family. We all was at one tribe at one time. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, and then we, to get discriminated against, and then telling you not this much, or your ancestor was a Cherokee freedman or a Creek freedman or a Chickasaw freedman, so that means you didn't have no Indian blood, you was a slave. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I can show you my grandfather's paperwork, baby, and it said he was a free colored. He owned a 15-acre plantation home. He did not own one slave, and he owned over 300 some acres of land, bro.
I think it's important for people to know that they assume that freeman means one thing.
No.
Yeah.
No, you know how to look. That term in the Cherokee Nation and Creek Nation and all them other people, the tribes did not capitalize off that until we talked about this. Jesse Jackson, and what year was it? 83, 85, somewhere in there, where he declared us as African American.
I want to say it's 88, but I don't know. Maybe it's 98. Even 98.
Was it 88? I don't know, bro.
I don't know. It's
in there.
It happened. It shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Because we need to wake up, because we got a lot of Jesse Jacksons.
Yeah.
In our culture. I'm talking about the Black Aboriginal tribe too. That's what I'm talking about. The niche. What you want to call it, the Negro, whatever, Aboriginal, the American Indian, whatever. We got brothers that look like me and you, sisters that look like me and you, and they out to cut our throats. So they didn't capitalize off this plan by themselves. It was people that look like me and you playing against us. Greed, worrying about themselves, not at the people as a whole. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to bust open hell's gates. That's what I told you. Like I say, when I speak this, bro, I speak this from the heart. Because when you talk about my ancestors, and when you run your mouth on Black Wall Street, you're talking about me. And I take that very emotional. I don't play no games about my ancestors. Facts. And if anybody got to talk to me, you know that I bang my line. But at the same time, I'm here to liberate my people. I'm here to get back what's ours. I'm sick and tired of people saying we were slaves. No. First of all, if you want to know, the word freedman did not go by slave in a derogatory meaning. It meant free of the mind. It means to be civilized. It means to go into colonization. But a lot of cats don't know that. A lot of cats don't know that Cherokee, the Cherokees, the way the Cherokees got their name was by the Choctaw. Or we can say Mississippi Choctaw, which means fire people.
I want to bring
some people don't know.
Up.
Yeah, some people don't know that the Cherokee, the Creek, the Seminole, because Creek and Seminole was one tribe at one time. For those that don't know that, they was called Seminole or Mixed Seminole or Mixed Creek. But anyway, some people don't know this, man. And then people don't know that the Mormon church, your pilgrims that came and civilized us, took us out of the wild.
Catholics too.
Killed the Indian to save the man. They did that to us. And they hold our history. They hold our nation's history. The Mormons do, and the Smithsonian. So come on, man. We've been battling this war against Andrew Jacksons, the George Washingtons, the Walter Pleckers, Melville Hoskovich. Who else? We've been battling. That's why we died in the streets, because most of us don't even know who he is.
Right.
But they know who you are. I had my trouble moms tell me her husband took a class, right? He said he was taking a training class. Did you not know in that training class, he was an officer. He was highway patrol. He said how to recognize a Negro of the Americas was from the head lining, the eyebrows, to the lower mouth from the nose. Like this.
Interesting.
On down, right here, like this, right here. And that blew my mind. I was like, why would they do that? Why would they do? She said, yeah, they will recognize you from the eyebrows down to your lower lips, because they knew who you. They know the structure of your face.
Phenotype.
That was crazy. And then also too, they know you by the palm of your hands. That's why they tell you put your hands up, but people don't know this.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because they can tell who you are. Man, they ain't killing no Africans.
I barely see dark-skinned Africans on TV.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
It runs deeper than what you know. They've been killing us. That's why they knocking us off. Hey, but look, check this out. You want me to tell you what's so funny about that? Is check this out. You remember how they say, if we could read, we would get hung. Well, if we said we was Indian, black folks would tell you this. You know, elders, we would get hung.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Huh?
Yeah. That's some
weird. They would say they'd kill you.
Remember
they would say that? They would kill us if we knew, if we claimed we was Indian, or if we was colored. Yes, or we knew how to read and everything. Okay, check this out. Allotted land, right? When they gave out that land and everything, and they gave it to the slaves. You think those was Africans that wanted some land they knew nothing about, how to farm or anything? No, that's what the Oklahoma land rush was about. The Booner Sooner shootout. They came down here, killed us, knocked us off our land, and took it for them. That's what people don't understand. You hear cats say, oh, the $5 Indian, the $5 Indian. But y'all don't even know the truth about it. That's only 25%. Because I just now learned over a year ago that the big problem was them killing us and taking over our identity. That's why you got the black greens and you got the white greens. You got the black Martins, you got the white Martins. You get what I'm telling you?
By the black and greens, can you explain that? Be a little bit more specific, what you mean by that?
Okay, let's just say my name is Derek Green, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
My birth certificate says, now they don't do it no more. Show your color. Well, on my birth certificate, don't say a color.
Yeah.
But they say black male, 6 foot tall, blah blah blah. Okay, then you got Mary Green, which is a white girl. She has blonde hair, blue eyes, 5'2". You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So you had 2 sets. I would say colonialized names, and most of those, especially when it comes to tribal, that like I'm a Martin. That's how I got on. That's how I got my citizenship with Cherokee Nation.
Okay.
Because I'm a Martin. My grandpa came out the Delaware district up there by Jay, Oklahoma, where the Delaware Indian Reservation was. Okay. My grandmother, his mother was Mississippi Choctaw, full blood. Her name was Sally Martin. You can look these people all up. Before they changed her to Sally Bean and gave her 3/8 Cherokee, but she was a Mississippi Choctaw, full blood, right? Sure. They told me I could not claim my grandmother because my grandfather signed as a freedman. And the long story to that, they took my grandfather, they locked my grandfather up, they took all his land, his home, everything. Over 300 acres, took everything from us. And then they made him sign as a Cherokee freedman. And they said I couldn't go under my grandmother because my grandpa signed as a freedman. See, you see how it's been played?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Before we go on,
yeah,
I want to ask you about a man named Silas Jefferson, Chief Silas Jefferson. For what reason?
Who is he part of? I mean, what like?
From my understanding, he's was
what?
a chief of the Creek. Silas Jefferson. He was one of us. He's a chief of the Creek Nation.
Well, let me check it because I thought it was Hard Joe that ran that.
Okay.
Chief Hard Joe. Let me check that before
Not
you know
now,
what I'm saying, because you know I ain't gonna leave nobody wrong.
All right, a long time ago he was chief, from my understanding.
Oh, okay. We're talking about somebody of the past.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. That's what I was trying to figure out. I was like, man, because I was thinking Harjo. Chief Harjo was the, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, but no, I don't really know too much about him. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
I won't lie on him. So I mean, I ain't gonna speak on somebody I don't know or speak on anything that I don't know about.
All right.
That's just how I am. Sorry about that.
I understand that.
But yeah. But anything like I say is anything else referring to, and like I remember we talked about it. I forgot to tell you. Now to bring that back. Now that you've seen it goes into office now. They announced it that all of the 5 civilized tribes, federally recognized tribes, is about to get their funding pulled. If they don't accept
talk about that
Creek
CNN
Freedmen,
article that was written not too long ago.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, man. Hey, and just to go back to that whole thing, you was like, what's the difference between the white greens, the black greens? Okay, I got a perfect example. And one was, okay, have you ever heard the story of like these 2 cousins? You got 2 cousins that come from the same grandmother, but this cousin over here is by blood, and this cousin was a little darker, so they called him a Creek Freedman or Cherokee Freedman. He was a freedman, but they both share the same mama and daddy and the same grandma or the same siblings.
I don't think I'm familiar with
okay, like about. let's say, okay, I got a cousin, right?
Okay.
Me and this cousin share the same mamas. I mean, well, my mama is his mother's sister, right?
Mm-hmm.
They come from the same grandma, right? But we got different dads from different families, right?
Okay, fine.
So over here on this side, let's say my mama's the lighter one. She's the fair-skinned one. She fits the look of what you call an Indian, right?
Okay. So earlier this year, you know, you made a post about your family bloodline. You're in fact the Indian. Can you explain that to the audience? Because a lot of times we hear stuff that's completely opposite. Growing up in school and even
Oh,
Afrocentrist.
hey, bro, I'm gonna tell you something about that.
Mm.
We always taught that.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if you was black, white,
Mm-hmm.
Chinese, man, look, that's only taught in America.
Yeah.
That's not world history.
Mm-hmm.
That's American history. Because you can ask Africans, man, you ask Africans from Nigeria, Uganda about slave trade, a mass slave trade,
Mm-hmm.
the transatlantic slave trade, they'd be like, man, what in the heck you talking about? Not saying that slavery didn't exist.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't on a mass scale like they was trying to say.
Yeah.
And it was told in reverse.
Mm-hmm.
So you gotta understand. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. They took us out of here and shipped us out through there.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it always goes back to West Africa. But it's more, to get into
Europe
that
as well.
Yeah, and we are the original. We are the original Aboriginal American Indian, the Niji. You know what I'm saying? And there's two types. See, they don't tell you this. There's a Native American 1,
yeah,
and there's a Native American 2, which is the American Indian. Most of your American Indian is tribes like your Mississippi Choctaw. You got Chippewa. You got Obaweji. You got, you know what I'm saying? It's so many. Yamasee, some say Yamasee, whatever, Black Seminole. I mean, we can get all into that. But a lot of people don't understand, that we were here. Now, when you say Native American, and I'll tell you the difference between a Native American 1, those are the descendants. Yeah. So like, fam, I'm telling you that it's about this color. And what blows my mind is still going on today. That's